The feet. Full plantar flexion of the ankle. Okay. The ankle lifts the foot, or the ankle points the foot down. Lifts the foot up, points the foot down. Dorsiflex up, plantar flex down. Full plantar flexion of the ankle. We have to remember we have different length toes. This is what I'm saying. If we don't first start by rolling evenly off the ends of our different length toes, the rest of your body's damaged. You can think you're training your body all you want. You're just trying to keep up with something you'll never achieve. You'll never get enough of what's not for you. And if you're not first rolling evenly off the end of your 5 different length toes, if you've got 5 toes, you know, and your feet are just regularly shaped, if we're saying regular is the universal human design, do you see what I mean? The whole body will compensate and be altered from the feet traveling up to the tip of the head and out to the tips of the fingers if we're not first using our feet properly. There's only one way the feet work. There's no opinion to it. The bones are only the shape that they are. There's muscles, tendons, ligaments in there that only do what they do. We've got 5 different length toes we roll evenly off the ends of, or else the whole body's damaged. We have to start from there. And the only way you're going to do that, it's nothing to do with us as In The Image Clothing Company. It's nothing we could take credit for. You can't own a weave of a rope, for example. But In The Image Clothing Company's shoelace technique is the top of the feet. It's the only way the top of the feet are shaped. And the bottom of the feet, it's got to be just flat. On the shoe sole, if you're wearing shoes, 0 drop. The term in any brand of shoe. Otherwise, your feet are damaged, and there's no opinion to it. There's no opinion to trying to train the rest of the entire body if your feet that are stabilizing the rest of your entire body on Earth's vertical gravity pull are not working the only way God designed them to ever possibly function. There's no opinion to it. So, it's nothing to do with me, Evan Strong, the founder of In The Image Clothing Company, no matter how prideful I could sound. It's not my choices. It's nothing to do with In The Image Clothing Company or our shoelace technique, as if we could own that. There's just only one way the feet could ever possibly work. You okay, Dante? You are breathing heavy, buddy. I gave him some food and water right before we came over there, or over here, where we're sitting now. He's laying and I'm sitting. There's only one way the feet work, okay? There's no opinion to it. Here's a good piece of context. Another video's title under In The Image Clothing Company's main site about the feet. You know, the ankle of the human being. Always stop laces at ankle flexion. We've got this, what I like to call angle to the ankle. Where the ankle flexes, that's where our laces need to be. Okay, we've got these holes in our shoes that we weave the ropes through that we call laces. These holes are called eyelets. We have to stop putting the ropes through the eyelets of our shoes right where our ankle flexes. And then we've just got the rope that's holding the shoe onto our foot that we call a shoelace, stopping right at where the foot stops and the lower leg bones start. Okay, right at the ankle. These 2 bones in the lower leg, the tibia and the fibula, they rotate. We've got internal rotation or external rotation from the knee to the foot, or from the foot to the knee. Man, here comes the wind. We have to stop our lacing right at where the ankle flexes. Otherwise, we're trying to hold the shoe on our foot and ankle area. Instead of it just being a nice covering for the foot, to allow the foot to work as if it's still barefooted, but just covered by something. If we don't have the shoes on our feet properly, the feet can't work properly. The ankles can't work properly, and then the entire body traveling up. Listen to this if you would. Yeah, the top of the right fibula. A video under the main site of In The Image Clothing Company, an area where patterning gets created. Like I said, patterning in the foot, an area where patterning gets created. The Achilles tendons insertions on the rear of the lower legs, where this calf muscle inserts to the heel of the foot, the bone down there, there's a tendon. okay? Muscles connect to bones through tendons, the Achilles tendon on the rear of the lower leg. It just needs to insert evenly down to the heels of our feet. But if we've got things like imbalanced shoe lacing or imbalanced shoe tying, or just heels on shoes for many years of our life, even maybe not even only years, but months, you know, or whatever it is, if you can have patterning get created in your body, you just have it happen. That's what we do here under In the Image Clothing Company's main site. As we get out of this chronic patterning that gets created in our bodies, we break up the scar tissue and the bone spurs that have been created in our bodies, if and how and where they have been. There's a video here under In the Image Clothing Company's main site titled "It Took Me 2 Years," spoken by me, Evan Strong, the founder of In the Image Clothing Company. It took me personally 2 full years to get out of all the chronic patterning that was built up in my body through the things we discuss. The only thing physically placed on the human being: clothing. There's no opinion to it. You know, clothing just has to fit the body where it fits the body. Like I'm saying here, the laces have to stop right where the ankle flexes, or else the ankle can't flex normally because the foot's just not working. If the shoe's not working for the foot, there's no way this could possibly be a dispute or an opinion. There's only one way the human body could ever work. I mean, there's only one way the human body could ever work. Allowing it to is the only option. Allowing God's design of the human being to work, or letting God's design of the dog stay natural. That's why these are our slogans. Allowing the body to work under In the Image Clothing Company's main side, or letting the dog stay natural. Right, letting dogs stay natural under In the Image Clothing Company poodles. With information that applies to all dogs. There's only one way this happens. Okay, different length toes is such a huge focus. There's a video here under In the Image Clothing Company's main site titled "The Extensor Hallucis Longus Muscle and Shoelaces." All right, when we tie our shoes, the knot that we're tying around our ankle, right where the ankle flexes, has to be right where this muscle comes down in the ankle. I'm gonna wait for the airplane noise for as long as I do. The 13th of March, 2026. It's a date marked documentation under In the Image Clothing Company's main site. It's our insurance policy in the ways that it is. It's just to show congruency, but it's also just free information that will never change. Eternal truth that I don't get to decide or change either as a human being. Yeah, it doesn't matter what I say. It's the truth of God. It's the human being. It's always going to be the exact same because it always has been. The exact same. Before I was here and after I die. It's not my choices. In the Image Clothing Company's shoelace technique is not my choice. For example. See what I mean? Just because I'm the founder of In the Image Clothing Company, it's just because we're given free information, and so we title it under our 5-word company name, and so you can get to the truth of how your feet are going to work, and only that, and nothing else ever. It's impossible. There's only one way the bones are shaped. Man, listen to me speak some words here, if you would. Wind, man. The extensor hallucis longus muscle and shoelaces. Well, we tie our shoes evenly, over toward the inside, on both feet, just to the center line of the human being, because there's 2 sides to the body with different length toes. We have to have even opposing knots with our even opposing feet from the center line of the human being. There's no opinion. No opinion that could matter on it, so don't believe me. Don't listen to me. Listen to my words. They're not my words. Listen to the truth of God. Listen to this. There's only one way the feet are shaped, all right? The extensor hallucis longus muscle is this muscle that comes down to the big toe from up at the outside of the fibula, the outer leg bone of these 2 bones in the lower legs that allow for the rotations, internal versus external rotation. So this muscle travels right through the ankle. On the top front part of the ankle is just the farthest most forward part of the ankle, because the big toe is the biggest toe. That's why we call it the big toe. And that's where that muscle comes through. So that's right where the knot sits on our shoelace, right at our ankle flexion, and there you go. But we only have this happen if we lace and tie our shoes the only way the top of the feet are shaped. You can title it whatever you want. We title it In the Image Clothing Company Shoelace Technique over here under In the Image Clothing Company, so you can find it. There's only one way this happens. There's no opinion to it that could ever possibly matter. Plantar flexion of the feet. We're rolling evenly off the ends of our different length toes. All right, pointing the toe, there you go. Pointing the toe, off the ends of our different length toes. We've got a video here under In the Image Clothing Company's main site titled The Pinky Toes and the Pinky Fingers. They're the neutral. The pinky toe is straight forward, and then we've got internal rotation or external rotation from there. The pinky fingers straight out from the outside of the forearm. The wrist can drop or the wrist can rise from there. There's only one way these things happen, okay? So we roll evenly off the ends of our different length toes. Our pinky toes point straight forward, and then as we point our feet, yeah, there you go, we've got plantar flexion. But watch this, if you would. The whole point of all of this is just the context on how to have it happen. Oh, it's so crazy. There's only one way this happens. And it's just by allowing it to happen, the way that God designed it to happen. If your body's basically the universal human design. If you've got a different body, that's one thing. We do what we can to get as close as we can to the universal human design. We've got the different length toes and full plantar flexion of the foot. I'm gonna sit back here a little ways, so I'm, still in the frame, but, I'll be in more of a squatted position, so I need to get back a little bit farther than where I currently am. I'll point my feet off the ends of my different length 5 toes, and then I'll roll up and over the ends of my toes, and then I'll be kneeling down on the front of my lower leg bones, and you'll be able to see this can all only happen. I understand Dante's panting is going to be in the audio of the video, but it's quieter than that. Motorcycle sound or whatever that was. It probably was a car actually, but the engine over there. It is what it is. You can get the information from the video. That's why I'm making it. It's just a documentation of truth. It's not my choices. We roll forward, pointing the toes. We roll off the ends of our different length toes. We fold up and over the ends of our different length toes evenly, and then we lay our front of our leg down on the ground. And that's full plantar flexion or pointing of the foot, or the ankle joint, if you will. The lever is the foot, the hinge is the ankle, okay? We're hinging on the ankle, moving the lever of the foot, plantar flexing it all the way down. And now really what we would have, actually, and I'll show this as I get back into this other position like I'm saying I will, is a straight line from the knee on the front of the leg, where this patella is, the little kneecap bone, okay? Yeah. The front of the leg, the shin area, if you will, the front of the tibia and the fibula, the front of the leg, down through the front of the ankle and out the top of the foot. This should all be one straight line, really, in full plantar flexion or full pointing of the toes. And that's what you will have, but only if it can happen. If we're weaving ropes across the top of our feet that are any shape that's different than this, the only way all the bones in there are shaped, then it can't happen. You can train your body all you want to think you're trying to train your body. You'll never get it to even work normally, which is also synonymous with naturally and neutrally, okay? If your bones can't track normally, which is also synonymous with naturally and neutrally, okay? There's only one way it happens. There's only one neutral. There's only one way the foot works. It's bones being only the shape that they are. The bottom of the feet, zero drop. Determine any brand of shoe, like the Zero Shoes branded Denver canvas black boots that I'm wearing right now. The top of the feet, in the Image Clothing Company shoelace technique, we're just weaving a rope across the top. We stop the laces at the ankle flexion, the angle of the ankle, and there's more context with, just removing tongue tabs if they are in shoes, removing tags in the tongues of shoes that are just slippery, unnatural material that didn't even exist just decades ago, tens of years ago from today's date, the 13th of March, 2026. You'll never train to it. It's impossible. The bones are only the shape that they are. We've got a full range of motion to all the motion. Lift the foot up, dorsiflexion. Put the foot down, plantar flexion. There's only one way it happens. And all you can do is allow it to. There's no possible opinion to it. There's no possible opinion. God designed the human body to work. There's no possible opinion to it that could matter. You can have all your opinions on it, on how to train your body, how to train full plantar flexion in your ankle. It's impossible. Physically, mechanically, mathematically impossible. It's impossible to train to full plantar flexion of the ankle. The body would just work, being designed by God to work, unless we altered it, you know. So this patterning needs to be rid if it's created. So watch me do this. Okay, watch. You watching? You watching Dante? Dante is gonna come over here too. Here he is. So here we are, squatting. In a full deep squat, okay? From this position. Good boy, Dante. We will roll evenly off the ends of our different length 5 toes. Come up off the tips of our toes with plantar flexion of the ankle. Roll over the ends of our different length 5 toes, and then end up on the top of our feet. The front or top, if you will, of the ankle, and the front of the lower leg bones, the tibia and the fibula. And this all happens just in the only position it possibly could for the 5 different length toes to just stay on the ground. There's only one way the human body could ever possibly work. It's not my choice, not my opinion. It doesn't matter what I say, unless it's aligning with the truth of God. We're designed in the image of God, in the image of Jesus Christ. Here's your clothing company, our 5-word company name. In the Image Clothing Company. In the Image Clothing Company. I'm in this for life. My name is Evan Strong. I'm the founder of In the Image Clothing Company. I have no opinion on anything with the human body that could ever possibly matter to anyone. But there's a universal human design. There's only one way the feet are shaped. Watch this. From this squatted position, we roll evenly off the ends of our 5 different length toes, up over the tips of the toes, and then to the top of the feet. You couldn't train to that level of range of motion. There's only a full range to all the motion in the body. It would just be there if it wasn't altered. Watch this happen. Up off the ends of my 5 different length toes. I roll up and over the ends of my toes. And now my feet are still on the ends of my different length 5 toes. Ow, and I'm on rocks. But I'm on the top of my feet at that point. Here I'm on the bottom of my feet. I roll up and off the ends of my different length toes, over the tips of my toes and to the top of my feet. And I'm on the top of my feet. Still on the ends of my different length 5 toes evenly. I'm on the top of my feet on the ground and the front of my ankle joint and up my whole lower legs. But my 5 different length toes stay on the ground the entire time. And now from here in this deep low squat, to get to full plantar flexion of the ankle, this video's title on In the Image Clothing Company's main site on the 13th of March 2026, Mr. Airplane. I just roll over the ends of my toes. It's impossible to train to that. It is the length of the bones of the feet and the ankle and the lower legs, traveling up the lower legs, the upper leg bone, the femur. Just the way we've got this slight outward curvature because of our different length toes, that opens our hips. The top of the femur, the femoral head that comes up and in toward the center line of the body a little bit, meeting into the acetabulum of the hips, it's just in a position that's the same as the outward curvature of the lower leg if we roll evenly off the ends of our 5 different length toes. It's the shape of the bones. We travel up from the hips through the spine, that's only what it is, the lumbar spine, the thoracic spine, and the cervical spine, just little vertebrae, which are bones that stack to make the spine with its natural curve in it. And as we get up to the top of the spine, it's just the base of our skull that's got the jaw in it, stabilizing the entire body, and it only does what it does. The shoulders connect into the spine and go out to the hands, and the hand is the shoulder when locked out at the elbow between the two, just like the foot is the hip when locked out at the knee between the two. They do the same thing, rotation-wise, and just all the motion. Oh my gosh, that was a real, I mean, this is, I couldn't make it up. I couldn't have some claim that you can't train the body, that it's impossible to get the human being to do anything that it doesn't do already, designed by God. It's only what it is. If you're not rolling evenly off the ends of your 5 different length toes, you'll never have full plantar flexion of the ankle. But let's just go so far as to say this. When I say so far, I mean, let's step out of this video's title to explain this. It's not only full plantar flexion, but full dorsiflexion. You know, pointing the toes all the way or lifting the toes all the way, it's only what it is. It's how long are the muscles to allow for this to happen. The muscles only ever pulling, that's all they do, and directly in line, connecting to bones that are only connecting the way that they are because they're only the shape that they are. Well, how's this all gonna work if we don't alter it? That's how it's all gonna work. And I don't mean to be like so prideful sounding or mocking people. I didn't know any of this until I did either. But I have to be as bold as I have to be about it. It's impossible to train. You could be someone training people's bodies for longer than I've currently been alive. I'm 26 years old. It's impossible to, though. You're just trying to keep up with something you'll never get to. You'll never get enough of what's not for you. There's plenty of people out there that never really do anything to try to address their body to get it to do something, but they just are pretty intentional with their bodies, and they allow their bodies to just operate the only way they ever could. And their bodies work well. Here comes the wind. And then you've got other people there in the gym just about every single day of the week, and their bodies don't work well. They're always rolling out their musculature and trying to stretch muscles when muscles only pull, which is the opposite direction of stretch, so that's strange. And I'm not trying to mock people, but it's only truth. It's God. It's Jesus Christ's design. You're not gonna change the shape of the bones to anything besides just how they're supposed to be. If you see what I'm saying, see with context, we give it deeply and thoroughly under In the Image Clothing Company. I couldn't make it up. I'm almost crying, truly. I've been doing this for a little over 17 months as of today's date. Give or take. Evan Strong, the founder of In the Image Clothing Company. It's impossible to get the human being to do anything through training it in any way. I couldn't have a claim on it that could matter. I'm going to be doing this my entire life. It's just the 13th of March, 2026. We're just at the start of this, is what I'm saying. It's just another date-marked documentation of eternal truth. You have to allow your feet to track in their only working position, or they're just not going to work. You can be lacing shoes incorrect or wearing heels under your shoes, sole, right? Heels under your feet heels on man-made shoes when your feet are God-made, and you're never gonna have normal range of motion in your feet from the neutral, which is the surface of the planet Earth, which is horizontal, if you're constantly in a state of pointing your toes already from heels under your shoes. There's no opinion to it that could ever possibly matter. There's no opinion to it that could ever possibly matter. It doesn't possibly matter what you want to try to say about the human being. Same with me. It's how does it work? We did not design the body. God did.